Chapter 2586. At this moment, a tall figure flashed over and held her in his arms. Smelling the familiar scent, she felt much more at ease. "Honey, you're back?" Huamin hugged Qin tightly. "How could you be so careless?" "I was just showering. I forgot to put on my slippers when I came out." "Thank goodness you came back in time, or else I would have fallen." Huamin stuck out her tongue. Just then, Qin suddenly let go of Huamin and pushed him to the side. "I heard you met Jiang Yi at Nantian Hot Springs today. When did you become so close to him?" Qin questioned coldly. Huamin was confused, wondering how Mr. Qin had changed his mind so quickly. Then he saw Kai Yu, the maid, pretending to be mopping the floor. He immediately understood what was going on. "So," he said on purpose, "yeah, but we met by chance. I didn't know he would go." "That's not what I asked. What I asked was, how do you know him? Don't you know who he is?" "I know, but we're just friends." "Friends? Then you sure have a lot of friends. Su Yu is your friend, and so is your ex, Ningxian. Mian, aren't you a little too popular?" "Qin, what do you mean?" "You know what I mean. Do you even need to ask? We've been busy all day. I really don't want to fight." Huamin sighed heavily. "I don't want to either, but you're getting more and more out of hand. You took the kids out and even met another man. Is that okay?" Qin was a little annoyed. "How dare you talk about me like that? When I went to the company this afternoon, you weren't there. The finance department was talking about you and Zhang Manlin. Don't think I don't know anything. You said there's nothing between you and her, but Bella said you've been putting off work and going out. Who knows what you've been doing?" It seems that Bella has reached the end of the line. She actually dared to gossip. Qin face darkened. "If you didn't do that, would you let others talk about it? You keep saying that I don't care about the children's feelings, but what about you? Have you ever cared? You've been leaving early and coming home late these days. You've been making excuses about where the kids want to go, saying that you're busy. But in the end, you still went to see Zhang Manlin and got caught by the media. Now that it's blown up, I'm embarrassed in front of my friends. It even made the headlines? Who's the one who doesn't care about this family?" Huamin shouted frantically. "Mian, you're becoming more and more unreasonable." "I'm unreasonable? Oh my God. Where's the law? This society is unfair to begin with. When a man cheats, everyone thinks it's normal. Even if he apologizes, everything will go back to normal. Then the red flag at home will not fall, and the red flag outside will not fall. But when a woman has a scandal, she'll drown in saliva. I haven't even been convicted of anything yet, and I'm already the sinner of the whole world, right? Mian, you weren't like this before. Look at you now, you're like a shrew. I'm speechless. I wasn't like this before because we used to love each other so much. But now, you don't like me anymore. I'm not young anymore, and I'm not fun anymore. So, you want someone else. You miss the younger me, and that's why you like Zhang Manlin. Don't talk nonsense. There's no such thing. The media likes to spread rumors. Do you believe them? Where did your high IQ go?" Qin accused. Chapter 2587. The media is making groundless accusations because they can find clues. If you don't want people to talk about you, don't do things like that. Qin, you're not only the president of a big company and a famous entrepreneur, but you're also the father of twins and a woman's husband. Don't forget who you are." Huamian glared at him. "Forget it, I don't want to talk to you. There's no point in arguing. I'm going to work in the study." With that, Qin turned around and left. "No, I'm not done talking. You can't go to the study." With that, Huamin followed Qin into the study. The noise was still coming from the study, so the maid, Kai Yu, carefully went downstairs. 5 minutes later, in the study, "Honey, come here and hug me." Qin opened his arms and pointed at his thigh. He looked at Huamin with love in his eyes. Huamin was a little shy. She lowered her head and walked over shyly. She sat on Qin lap. "Wow, what's with that expression?" Huamin tilted her head and looked at Qin. She was very happy to be so close to him. "Honey, did you get fat from eating too much? You seem heavier than before." Qin Chu teased her on purpose. Huh? How long has it been since you hugged me? You don't even remember my weight. No, I remember that you got fat from eating too much. So, did you secretly eat something good behind my back? Qin Chu lovingly pinched her chubby cheeks. That's because Huamin was so happy that she almost blurted out that she was pregnant. But when she thought about the current situation, she held back. Because of what? Qin Chu looked at her curiously. I've been turning my grief into appetite. Pretending to argue with you is tiring, okay? Of course, I have to eat better. That's a reason. Qin Chu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. But do you think I'm fat? How could that be? Go ahead and eat. It's better to get fatter. That way, Suyu won't miss you. Huamin, what does it have to do with Suyu? Don't talk nonsense, okay? I miss you so much. I really hope that these days will end soon. Qin Chu turned Huamin's head and gently kissed it. This kind of kiss made Huamin's heart beat faster. All these years, this kind of feeling had never disappeared. All right, let's not waste any more time. In a while, that little maid will probably come up to monitor us again. Yes, don't waste time. Honey, take off your pants. Huamin, hubby, you've become dirty. It hasn't changed. Your husband has always been like this. Qin Chu smiled. Alright, stop messing around. I really have something important to tell you. Okay, go ahead. I won't affect you. Then, Mr. Qin began to move his hands up and down. Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Come on, Mr. Qin, how can I tell you when you're like this? Can't we just have fun? Huamin was exasperated. Honey, it's been so long and you still haven't given me any pleasure. If this continues, I'll die. Qin Chu said it with a straight face, as if he was a punching bag. Huamin almost laughed out loud. You're still laughing? Honey, you have hands. President Mao said that if you do it yourself, you'll have plenty to eat. How dare you threaten me with the president? No, I have to collect interest first. Qin Chu lifted up Huamin's clothes and began to touch him. She giggled but didn't dare to speak too loudly, afraid that someone outside would overhear. Honey, stop messing around. I really have something important to tell you. I got a Song Isher's diary, Huamin said. Qin Chu immediately stopped what he was doing and his expression became serious. Chapter 2588. She's been dead for so long, why are you bringing her up again? Qin Chu didn't want to talk about Song Isher, even though it was Huasiqian who planned everything. However, it was also because of her death that he and Huamian were separated for 4 years. Qin Chu didn't like this woman, so when Mayor Song went to jail, he didn't even visit him, nor did he help the Song family. Qin Chu's motto was, I'm not doing charity, why should I help this and that? Yes, other than his family and loved ones, he didn't care about anything else. Jiang Yi gave me the diary. Jiang Yi? Qin Chu was a bit surprised. Then, Huamin told him how Jiang Yi met him and gave him the diary. Qin Chu didn't say anything. Mian, can we trust Jiang Ye's words? He was indeed suspicious and had to be careful. What if Jiang Yi was Huasiqian's man? I'm not sure, but this diary was written by Song Isher herself. I've compared the handwriting. If Jiang Yi was Huasiqian's man, then there was no need for him to do this, because the contents of the diary are bad for Huasiqian. So, what's the content of the diary? Qin Chu was curious. What did Song Isher leave behind before she died? It's about Huasiqian's split personality. That thing? Don't we all know about it? Qin Chu didn't think this clue was valuable to him. Yes, we know, but we don't know the details. We only know that he has that illness, but Song Isher lived through it, so the clue she gave us is useful. We can prepare in advance. What did she say? Qin Chu frowned slightly. She said that when Huasiqian splits into another person, it's very scary. He doesn't remember his original self, like a demon. His usual self is already a demon, Qin Chu mocked. Yes, but from what Song Isher wrote, I can feel a chill down my spine. Maybe it's really scary. That's why we have to get rid of this psychopath. Hubby, do you remember when I told you before that I saw him after he split? Yeah, I heard you say that. I wonder what it'll be like if I see him like that again. You know, Huasiqian keeps saying that he likes me. Even though he hates me, he's never done anything to hurt me. In the past, he only ate with me. But that night I was really scared. That Huasiqian was different from usual. If he had caught me that night, I don't know what would have happened. So, Qin Chu didn't finish. That's why Song Yishe wrote that she saw Huasiqian after the split and that he was not human. I sympathized with her. Forget it, it's all in the past. There's no need to sympathize with someone who's no longer alive. I think she deserved it. Honey, we have to be more careful now. After the split, Huasiqian is inhumane. He won't show any mercy to us because that's another person in his body. I won't be soft-hearted or soft-hearted anymore. I have to protect myself and our child. After speaking, Huamin subconsciously covered her stomach. She was a mother again, so she had to be strong. Oh right, I forgot to tell you something. Huamin suddenly remembered something. What? Qin Chu looked up. Huasiqian told me today that he's getting married. Chapter 2589. Married? Qin Chu frowned slightly, finding it strange. Yes. With who? It should be Yan Ruoxi, Mayor Yan's daughter. You know, they've been together before. Did he say it himself? He's going to marry Yan Ruoxi? Qin Chu continued to ask. He didn't say it himself, but I don't think it's fake. Huasiqian wouldn't joke about such a big thing, Huamin analyzed. Then it's strange. How so? Huasiqian is acting very strange. Why would he get married at a time like this? Qin Chu was puzzled. Honey, do you think he needs Mayor Yan for something? That's why he's planning to marry Yan Ruoxi. What is his goal? Qin Chu shook his head. Mian, you're being silly again. With Huasiqian's current status, he doesn't need to rely on Mayor Yan anymore. He won't be able to achieve anything. Can't you see? He doesn't even want to solve the Hua Corporation's crisis. It means he doesn't care about money anymore. What he wants is you. Qin Chu's words hit the nail on the head. Huamin froze and didn't know what to say. Huasiqian is acting very strange. We need to be more careful. Honey, what should we do next? Huamin began to worry. Huasiqian often didn't play by the rules. He wasn't easy to deal with. Let's wait and see what Huasiqian is up to. Huamin nodded. Honey, you need to be extra careful these days. Whether it's Lu Zhe or Zhang Manlin, other than those you trust, you need to be extra careful. I have a feeling our final battle with Huasiqian is coming soon, and I will. Honey, you need to be careful too. I'm worried that he'll do something to you, especially after reading Song Yishe's diary. I'm worried that Huasiqian will turn into a real demon. He might do something even more cruel and crazy. After all, he's inhumane. Huamin looked at his watch. It was about time. He got up reluctantly and hugged Qin Chu's neck. I really don't have the heart to fight with you. I want to cherish every second. Me too. Qin Chu gently kissed Huamin's eyelashes, full of love. But I know we have to hold it in. We still have to do it. We have to win. Huamin was full of confidence. We will. Then I'll go out first. I don't want Caillou to see me. Qin Chu reluctantly watched Huamin walk out. Then, he began to think about the information Huamin told him tonight. Huasiqian was getting married? And the other side mentioned in Song Yishe's diary, the demonized Huasiqian? It seemed like things were getting more and more complicated. When Huamin walked downstairs, the maid named Caillou was still at the door. Huamian had an idea and pretended to shed a few tears. A young lady, why are you crying? Caillou asked. Nothing, nothing. She purposely didn't say anything and quickened her pace downstairs. Mian, what's wrong? Did you fight with Chu again? Mama Qin asked, heartbroken. Chapter 2590. It's okay, Mom. I'm going to pick up the kids. Where are the kids? Why aren't they back yet? Didn't they go to the hot spring with you this morning? Mama Qin asked. Yeah. Then I got a call saying that Ning Ning and her boyfriend came back to China. They went to have dinner together. They must have had a lot of fun. Ning Ning's back? Did your second uncle agree to their relationship? Mrs. Qin asked curiously. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Ning Ning yet. I'll ask her when I see her. Okay. Drive slowly, Min, Grandma said. Then, Huamin drove out and called Suyu to ask for their location. Hey DeLeo. When Huamin arrived, he saw the twins eating hot pot. The atmosphere was very good. Mommy's here. Waitress, please get my mommy a new set of tableware. Little Bean was very good at pleasing. Huamin sat between the twins with a smile. Sis-in-law, I missed you so much. Qin Ning stood up and gave Huamin a big hug. Sis-in-law, I haven't seen you in a few days. You've gotten prettier, Tang Chuan said with a smile. Don't talk nonsense. I know what I look like. Ever since I was a kid, the word pretty has nothing to do with me. Huamin laughed. Yeah. Uncle Tang told you to flatter him and now you're flattering him. Ha. Shame on you, Little Bean mocked Tang Chuan. You flatter me. When it comes to flattering, no one can beat you. Little Bean, you're the real flatterer. Little Bean was speechless. Uncle Tang, you're telling the truth again, Little Bean added. Andy, look, they're teaming up to bully me, Little Bean complained. You're arguing with a kid. Don't you think it's embarrassing? Qin Ning scolded. Honey, you're right. Tang Chuan looked at Qin Ning with love in his eyes. You're already calling her honey? Looks like the two of you have been developing very quickly recently. Did you do a lot of things that are not suitable for children? Little Bean's mind started to become dirty. Don't talk nonsense. I'm not that kind of person, Qin Ning said awkwardly. Where's Qin Chu? Why didn't he come with you? Suyu looked at Huamin. He just got off work. He still has a lot of work to do. Do you really have work to do? Or do you want to meet someone else? Suyu seemed to be implying something. Lord Su, what do you mean? Is it true that my wife's brother cheated on her? Tang Chuan continued to gossip. Get lost. My brother isn't that kind of person. Qin Ning immediately defended her brother. I don't think Daddy is that kind of person either. Handsome Su, you can't spread rumors. Be careful or I'll get angry with you, Little Bean said with a pout. I'm not spreading rumors. I really feel like something's wrong. Qin Chu and Zhang Manlin. Suyu was just about to defend Huamin when Little Bean interrupted him. Suyu, don't talk about this in front of the kids. Huamin immediately stopped him. Suyu immediately understood what she meant and nodded. Qin Ning was anxious and wanted to ask more questions. But after hearing her sister-in-law's words, she didn't dare to. She could only suppress her curiosity and planned to talk to her brother alone when they got home. She didn't believe that her brother would give up the woman he loved for years and cheat on her so easily. There must be some kind of misunderstanding. On the beach of an island in Indonesia, Lu Yen lay on a bench and sipped fruit juice leisurely. Yen, is it really okay for us to hang out under Ian's nose all day? Xiao Fei felt like this was too exciting. Knowing that Ian was in Indonesia most of the time, Lu Yen came here directly from Pakistan and had a lot of fun. Chapter 2591. Very good. Lu Yen smiled like a blooming flower. She was wearing a yellow floral bikini, and her hot figure was on full display. With her exquisite face, she attracted 100% of the attention. Among the tourists coming and going, there was no one who did not take a second look at this exquisite oriental Barbie. Filled with jealousy, Xiao Fei grabbed a silk scarf and covered Lu Yan's perfect figure. What are you doing? Lu Yan spat out the straw in her mouth and put the colorful drink aside. Covering your fat body, Xiao Fei said in annoyance. Are you blind? My body is the golden ratio. How can I be fat? Psycho Xiao. You're eating my food and living in my house. How dare you insult me? Do you want to die? Yeah, it feels good to live off a woman. Xiao Fei purposely tried to provoke her. I think someone is just jealous. Lu Yen was smug. If you know that, then behave. Don't wear so little and show off. Lu Yen laughed. Psycho Xiao, you're from the village, right? Isn't it normal to wear a bikini? When I was on vacation in Australia, I often went skinny dipping. Lu Yen had traveled around the world since she was a child and didn't care about these things. Compared to Huamin's tradition, she was more open. However, she wasn't open about sex, she was only open about clothes. Lu Yen had an exquisite face and a golden ratio body. In the eyes of all the people, she was a great beauty. Even Audrey Hepburn was an angel in the eyes of the people. Therefore, she knew how to take advantage of her beauty. When she was on a difficult mission, she even used the honey trap. However, she would kill the enemy before they could even touch her. Huamin used to think that since Lu Yen was so beautiful, she must take after their father. Later, when he recalled the time he saw their father in the U.S., he thought his father's features were ordinary. Therefore, it was very likely that Huamin looked like their father and Lu Yen looked like their mother. However, she knew very little about her mother. Lu Yen and her father rarely mentioned Dr. Linya, the medical genius. Huamin didn't ask further. The problem was that he didn't have many chances to see Lu Yen and his dad. Appearing and disappearing unpredictably, perhaps in the whole world, only Huamin's family had such an arrangement. It was difficult for biological sisters and biological father and daughter to meet each other. Skinny dipping? Why don't you just run around naked? Qiao Fei glanced at Lu Yen in disdain. As the young master of the Qiao family, the #1 Chinese mafia in Russia, Qiao Fei had followed his father around the world since he was young. He had met many big shots and even heads of state. Lu Yen was joking when she said he was from the village. He had seen all kinds of things, but because of his possessiveness, he didn't want Lu Yen to wear so little and appear in the crowd. Why should his own daughter-in-law be seen by others for nothing? You want to fight, right? Lu Yen stood up and rubbed her palms together, exasperated. Lu Yen loved hand-to-hand combat and liked to spar with a master. Qiao Fei was very good at it, and they often fought to their heart's content. Qiao Fei wouldn't go easy on her just because she was a girl. Of course, Qiao Fei wouldn't really hurt her. Shoo, don't talk. Qiao Fei's expression suddenly became serious. Lu Yen immediately understood and quickly turned around. Not far away, a group of men in black suits hurried over. Ian's men are getting more and more useless. Look at the time. They came after lunch. My hands are itching. Then, Lu Yen took out 2 sharp daggers from her handbag. You're using daggers on me? Don't you see they have guns? Qiao Fei glanced at the daggers and was speechless. Chapter 2592. Now that's exciting. Lu Yen chuckled. Qiao Fei, come on, big brother. I don't even need a knife to deal with these small fries. If it weren't for the fact that this is a tourist attraction and I don't want to scare the innocent tourists, I would have killed them with my bare hands. But for now, let's do it. We'll split up and lure them to 2 sides. Then, we'll end the battle quickly. Qiao Fei knew Lu Yan's straightforward and violent personality, so he nodded. Is 3 minutes enough? Aye. Before Qiao Fei could finish his words, he saw Lu Yen pick up her handbag and walk away briskly. She's over there. Quick, follow her. After discovering Lu Yan's whereabouts, they immediately swarmed toward her. At this moment, Qiao Fei also picked up his bag and walked in the opposite direction of Lu Yen. Immediately, the tall and strong foreigners split into 2 groups and chased after Lu Yen and Qiao Fei. Indonesia headquarters. Ian was sitting in front of a white piano with a tripod, playing the beautiful melody of Canon. One of his subordinates came to report carefully. Ian still didn't speak. He seemed to be intoxicated by the piano music he was playing. I just received news that the second miss has been found. Our men have already followed her. Ian still didn't speak. After he finished playing, he slowly stood up. Then he fiddled with his fingers, his knuckles cracking. I received the news 5 minutes ago. 11 of our men have already gone there. I've already told them to try to capture them alive. 5 minutes? Looks like they're all corpses now. Ian said casually. The man was slightly surprised. Just then, another subordinate ran in. He had a tanned face and looked like a native of Indonesia. Sir, all of our men have been killed, see? What did I say? 5 minutes. Lu Yen was merciful enough. If she used a gun, it would have only taken 10 seconds. Sir, we'll send more men over. Are we sending more men to their deaths? Ian glanced at his subordinate coldly. Lu Yen herself is hard enough to deal with. Now that the young boy from the Qiao family is more powerful, it won't be easy to catch her. Then are we just going to watch her be so smug right under our noses? The subordinate asked. You dare to be so smug in front of me? All right, I'd like to see how long she can be smug for. Ian smiled. Ian especially liked the game of cat and mouse. Over the years, he had lost count of the number of women who had died in his hands. There were even fewer women who could pique his interest. Basically, they wouldn't last more than 3 days. Lu Yen was someone he was interested in for years, and his interest in her was growing. Therefore, he didn't want to kill her. At the cliff by the sea. Yen, I think we should leave this place as soon as possible. Ian is very strange. We shouldn't stay here for long. Xiao Fei still felt that it was too risky to stay here. We can't leave. But don't tell me you want to fight Ian now? Do you think you can win? No chance, Lu Yen said honestly. But to be honest, Xiao Fei didn't understand Yan's move. She knew she was in danger, but she still wanted to stay. If this wasn't suicide, then what was? But Lu Yen wasn't someone who liked to die. Could it be? Chapter 2593. To protect my sister. If I can keep messing with Ian, he won't have time to investigate my sister, Lu Yen said nonchalantly. I knew it had something to do with Sister Mian. Xiao Fei already had a rough idea. My subordinates have been tracking her for a long time. That psycho Ian has been trying to catch me for years, but he hasn't been able to. Finally, he moved to Sea City. Even if Hua Xiqian doesn't say anything, I think with Ian's power, he'll expose my sister's identity. Then she might end up like me, homeless and hunted forever. I don't want her to end up like that. Yen, you feel bad for your sister, but who's going to feel bad for you? Xiao Fei looked at Lu Yen with pity. Me? I don't need anyone to feel bad for me. I'm a strong woman. I was born to be a heaven-defying existence. The bombs I've developed are as good as my dad's. But do you know how dangerous it is for you to protect Sister Mian under Ian's nose? I know. The worst-case scenario is getting caught. But even if I'm caught, I won't let him threaten my dad. Ian is an inhuman psychopath. He definitely wants my dad to help him develop some kind of biochemical weapon. I'm not going to let him do something so outrageous. That's why when I was being chased by Ian a few years ago, I thought that if I were to fall into his hands one day, then I'd rather commit suicide than let him threaten my dad with my life. Easy for you to say. Aren't you afraid of death? If I'm afraid of death, why would I be a mercenary? Over the years, I've gotten used to licking blood on knives and dancing on coffins. Xiao Fei, maybe this is my fate. I don't blame anyone. My life has been amazing. I've received the world's attention since I was born. I'm the daughter of the famous Professor Liu and Dr. Linya. Many medical researchers even said that they'd study my corpse after I died to see if there was any genetic mutation. Not everyone can have such a glorious life. When I was at West Point, I tasted all the pain in the world. The soldiers of West Point were warriors who fought their way out of hell. I've never been afraid of death. When I was 20 years old, I had hundreds of billions of yuan in assets. Even the richest man in a country couldn't live as carefree as I do. A meal of mine can cost hundreds of thousands of yuan. A piece of clothing can cost millions, and a gun I developed myself cost more than 50 million yuan. These numbers are more than ordinary people's lives. Yen, don't you have anything to worry about? Xiao Fei asked with a sad expression. He felt like he didn't care enough about Lu Yen. Xiao Fei, I told you before that I'm not the right person for you. I'm not suitable to be your wife. With your status, you can choose whoever you want. You don't have to run away with me. The world is big. I just want Lu Yen, Xiao Fei said. Why do you have to do this? Lu Yen lowered her head, feeling guilty toward Xiao Fei. Sister Mian has a husband and a daughter. Your father still has your mother to worry about. What about you? Lu Yan's words were on the tip of her tongue, but she suddenly felt miserable. Chapter 2594. Don't worry, you didn't have it before, but now, you have me. Xiao Fei, from now on, I'll continue to work for you and live off of you. You have to live well, or else I'll starve to death. Xiao Fei didn't do it on purpose because he didn't want to burden Lu Yen. But she knew what he was thinking. Xiao Fei, after Ian dies, I won't be a mercenary anymore, okay? Let's find a place to live in seclusion with my father, my sister, and the others. Our family will be happy every day, especially lively and lively. Okay, we'll have more kids. I saw that Mian gave birth to twins, maybe we'll have twins too. You wish. Lu Yen laughed. So, Yen, from now on, don't take yourself lightly. Your life doesn't belong to you alone. Lu Yen nodded heavily. After we get rid of Ian, let's go to the Roman church and get married. Lu Yen suddenly had an idea. So, you're proposing to me? Yeah, what do you think? Do you want to marry me? No diamond ring, no sincerity. Damn it. You eat and drink my food, and you want a diamond ring? Shameless. No, I won't marry you without a diamond ring. Xiao Fei shook his head resolutely. Diamond ring? Let me tell you, the diamonds in my Swiss bank safe can hit your head. Okay, give me all the diamonds in the safe, and I'll consider it. Our friendship is over. Lu Yen turned around. Xiao Fei looked at her back and smiled gently. Lu Yen and Xiao Fei had been in Indonesia for 2 days. Other than traveling, Lu Yen couldn't sit still and would go to the black market whenever she had time. When she was itching for a fight, she would go on stage and fight in the black market. Sometimes, she would set up a stall to sell low-quality guns, having a lot of fun. Xiao Fei followed her closely, and the two of them ate and lived together. But nothing had happened. Ian didn't do anything either, which made them even more vigilant. They were afraid that Ian would make a fool out of them. That night, Lu Yen came back from the black market and asked for Russian-style beef. Xiao Fei put on his jacket and went downstairs to buy beef. When he came back, he was surrounded in an alley. Young master. There were 4 tall men in front and behind. Why you here? Young master, come back with us. After you left, old master's temper has been very bad. Many things have been forcefully intervened by second young master. I think the situation is very unfavorable for you. I have already left the Qiao family. From now on, I am no longer a member of the Qiao family. Whatever Qiao Nen does has nothing to do with me. I will not interfere. Young master, you're a dignified young master. Why are you being hunted down? Why do you have to go out to buy groceries and cook? Although old master is angry, he still misses you very much. If you go back, he will definitely be happy and forgive you. I don't need his forgiveness. Young master, you guys can leave. I won't go back. Xiao Fei had made up his mind. These people were Xiao Fei's subordinates. The leader was called a Sino. Xiao Fei was a cold person. From the moment he decided to leave with Lu Yen, he had cut off all ties with the past. His men were all left in Moscow. After Xiao Fei finished speaking, he carried the beef and walked forward. Suddenly, a gunshot came from behind. Chapter 2595. Xiao Fei dodged instinctively and saw the 4 men shoot at the same time. He immediately dodged, but the 4 of them were determined to kill him. I knew you guys didn't come with good intentions. Xiao Fei glanced at them coldly. Young master, don't blame us. We're now second young master's men. Xiao Nen has wanted to kill me for a long time. It's not surprising. But, the 4 of you can't kill me. Xiao Fei was confident. I join in? At this moment, a man in a black windbreaker walked out from behind them with a creepy smile on his face. Xiao Fei was slightly surprised. I was wondering how these good-for-nothings could find me. It's you. Xiao Fei was too lazy to call Xiao Nen his second brother. This ambitious man had wanted Xiao Fei dead more than a dozen times since he was a child, whether intentionally or unintentionally. When he was 8 or 9 years old, he pretended to forget to turn off the water and locked the door before going out to play. At that time, Xiao Fei was taking a nap at home and was almost poisoned to death by the media. Fortunately, Xiao Fei's dog sensed something was wrong and barked loudly to wake him up. Only then did he escape. Over the years, the Xiao brothers had been fighting openly and secretly, and the old man knew about it. He wanted to support Xiao Fei and slowly take away Xiao Nan's power. But later, he found that Xiao Nan was very powerful and not easy to deal with. Last time, when Xiao Fei was shot 5 times, his father didn't blame him even though he knew it was Xiao Nan who did it. This was the rule of the king's family, survival of the fittest. The law of the jungle, the strong preyed on the weak. It was said that the most powerful Tibetan mastiffs were raised this way. After they were born, they were placed in a closed space. They were not given food and were allowed to kill each other. The last one was the winner and the ultimate king. It's hard to find you. I have to say, Lu Yen is really good at running away. This time, I have to thank Ian. Without him, I wouldn't have been able to find you so quickly. You're in cahoots with Ian. Dad will kill you if he finds out. Don't worry, Dad won't have the chance to know, because I won't give you the chance to see Dad again. Xiao Fei finally understood that Ian thought it would be more difficult to deal with him here, so he directly told Xiao Nan his whereabouts. Xiao Nan wanted to kill Xiao Fei with a borrowed knife. Xiao Nan wanted to kill Xiao Fei, so he did him a favor. My dear brother, what do you think? Do you have anything to say? Xiao Nan took out his pistol and aimed it at Xiao Fei's head. You can't kill me. Do you think that the old man will come and save you? Give up on that thought. Distant waters can't quench a present thirst. Besides, he doesn't know that you're in Indonesia. Even if he did, it's too late. Xiao Nan, it's been a while since we last met. You're getting more and more arrogant. You even dare to touch my people? A crisp voice rang out. They turned around and saw Lu Yen standing behind them. A sexy red dress fluttered in the wind in the air. I have to say, you're a pretty girl. When Xiao Fei dies, come with me. I won't mistreat you. Xiao Nan smiled. With you? Can you do it? I heard, you're the master of instant shooting. Lu Yen sneered. Xiao Nan's face immediately changed. Chapter 2596. Yen, you won't have any friends if you talk like that. You've never slept with me, how do you know I can shoot in seconds? Xiao Nan looked at Lu Yen with a perverted expression. Sleep with you? Look at your 3-inch sausage, I can't even see the curves in your pants. Don't you know? Huamin was sharp-tongued because he didn't know Lu Yen. If he had seen Lu Yen curse someone, he would know what it meant to be ruthless. Hearing this, Xiao Nan couldn't hold it in any. Damned girl. Don't play word games with me. Your man is still in my hands, why don't you beg me and see if I'll let him die in one piece if I'm in a good mood? Motherfucker, I've seen a lot of shameless people, but you're the most shameless of them all. They all say that there's no need to be so impatient to kill each other. I suspect that Uncle Qiao accidentally leaked your secret when he went to visit a prostitute back then. You're the bad one. How can you be so despicable? You even want to kill your own brother. Xiao Nan, I'm the one you want to kill. Let Yen go. Xiao Fei analyzed the situation and didn't think Lu Yen had a chance of winning. Xiao Nan had 2 masters and 4 traders with him, so there were 7 of them. Xiao Nan wasn't someone to be trifled with, and Xiao Fei had a gun pointed at his head, so the situation was very bad. He didn't want to drag Lu Yen into this. Bullshit. Do I look like a heartless person? Plus, I haven't had enough of you yet. If you don't freeload off of me, who's going to spend my money? Yen. Xiao Fei knew this girl was as stubborn as a donkey. She wouldn't leave just because he said a few words. Very well, since you two want to die together, I'll be the good guy today and grant you your wish. He was about to shoot Xiao Fei when, wait, Lu Yen suddenly yelled. What are you up to now? Xiao Nan looked at Lu Yen warily. Master, be careful. This Lu Yen is very cunning. Even Ian couldn't catch her. Someone beside him reminded Xiao Nan. Xiao Nan didn't dare to underestimate Lu. Lu Yen took out a silver desert eagle from behind her waist. It was very heavy and had a strong recoil. You're alone with a gun. Do you think you're a match for us? Xiao Nan laughed. Fuck, how embarrassing would it be to use a pistol to deal with you guys? Then, Lu Yen took out a small red object from her pocket. As soon as the item was taken out, everyone's expression changed. That's... Xiao Nan narrowed his eyes. He only finished half of his sentence. Today, I'll be generous and give you VIP treatment. Have you heard of Ghost Number 1? Hearing Lu Yan's words, Xiao Nan and his subordinates all took 3 steps back. They weren't unfamiliar with Ghost Number 1. A while ago, Lu Yan had blown up Ian's Indonesia branch with a super powerful bomb. It even made the Indonesian government furious. What do you want? What do I want to do? You're asking bullshit? Of course, I'm sending you to the afterlife. Lu Yan chuckled. You're lying. If it's really Ghost Number 1, you'll die too. Do you think I'm afraid of death? Lu Yan looked at Xiao Nan in disdain. You wouldn't carry such a dangerous thing with you, Xiao Nan analyzed. Wrong. It's because it's dangerous that I carry it with me. I'm always ready to die with Ian. You guys came at the right time. I didn't see Ian, so it's not cheap to give it to you. Then, Lu Yan pretended to press the switch. No. I don't want to die yet. Master, let's go. Xiao Nan's subordinates were terrified and almost peed their pants. This seemingly insignificant little thing, once detonated, would cause mass destruction, not to mention the dozen of them. No matter how many miles around, everything would be reduced to ashes. What do you think? Are you going to let my man go, or are you going to hell with us? Lu Yan's smile was still as beautiful as a flower, making it hard to tell if she was lying or not. Chapter 2597. Master, let's let them go. We'll think about it in the future. Xiao Nan's subordinates were scared out of their wits. Xiao Nan didn't want to let go of such a good opportunity, so he looked at Lu Yan unwillingly. I don't believe you'll use Ghost One. If you don't believe me, then try it. Why are you talking so much? Lu Yan didn't care. Master, Lu Yan is crazy. Even Ian can't do anything to her. We can't take the risk. Where there's life, there's hope. Xiao Nan's subordinates were afraid that Xiao Nan would continue to confront Lu Yan. If he angered this woman, he would die together with her. Are you really not afraid of death? Xiao Nan thought that there were many people who said they weren't afraid of death, but few really lived up to their words. There were even fewer people who dared to detonate such a powerful bomb. Lu Yan was only a brat in her 20s. How dare she? If they let them go this time, it would be even harder to catch Xiao Fei next time. Damn it, you're the second young master of the Xiao family. When your mother gave birth to you, did she lose the baby and raise the placenta? When I was 5, I traveled all over the world. When I was 8, I was separated from my father. I ran for my life while dealing with people who wanted to catch me. When I was a teenager, I snuck into the capital of the world, West Point Military Academy. After I graduated, I directly formed a mercenary group. In my dictionary, there's no such thing as fear of death. Because all these years, every day, every minute, every second, I've been fighting against the Grim Reaper. You're asking me if I'm afraid of death? You're a fucking idiot. Lu Yan cursed at Xiao Nan. This was something no one dared to do. In the Xiao family, no one dared to offend Xiao Fei and Xiao Imo. They would rather offend Xiao Nan because he was an extremely vicious person. Therefore, in the whole world, only Lu Yan would do something like this. Ha! You're the first person who dares to be so disrespectful to me. Lu Yan, you've got guts. Xiao Nan sneered. I even dared to curse Ian, let alone you. Don't be so shameless. My time is precious. Even if you want to die, you should hurry. After all, there's a limit to how much Mengpo's soup can I give you, okay? You have 5 seconds to let my man go or we'll all go to hell together. Then, Lu Yan held the small red machine in her hand and began counting down. 3, I'll let you go. In the end, Xiao Nan admitted defeat. So you admit defeat? You want to be the overlord of a region with your ugly face? What the fuck? Lu Yan looked down on Xiao Nan. A person who was afraid of death couldn't achieve great things. Lu Yan had always despised people who were afraid of death. Xiao Nan gritted his teeth. He hated Lu Yan to the core, but there was nothing he could do. After all, Lu Yan was the only one in the world who had Ghost One since she had invented it herself. It was said that after the research and development was successful, A terrorist organization offered billions of dollars to buy it. In the end, the lady only replied with 2 words, no. Xiaonan wasn't sure how many ghost number 1's Lu Yen had, but he knew how powerful they were after witnessing Ian's Indonesia branch being bombed. Therefore, he absolutely did not dare to let his guard down. Let him go. Xiaonan ordered, and his subordinates all retreated. Lu Yen strutted over and helped Xiao Fei up. Looking at their departing figures, Xiaonan's heart was already extremely unbalanced. Lu Yen, I won't let you go, Xiaonan thought angrily. Inside a cave in the slums of Indonesia, Lu Yen was changing the bandages on Xiao Fei's thigh because of a gunfight. Fuck, take off your pants, Lu Yen ordered impatiently. Chapter 2598. What do you want? Xiao Fei looked up and glanced at Lu Yen's face. What do I want? To do? Lu Yen said in a huff. Xiao Fei, take it off, give me some time to prepare. I think it's too sudden. Xiao Fei was shy, which was rare for him. He blushed. Although he had always wanted to sleep with Lu Yen, he didn't expect the moment to come so soon. It was a pleasant surprise. Seeing Xiao Fei's thoughts wander, Lu Yen punched him on the head. Damn it. You're thinking too much. I'm going to change your bandages, Xiao Fei was embarrassed. Take it off. Don't dawdle. My patience is limited. Finally, under Lu Yan's urging, Xiao Fei slowly pulled down his trousers. Underneath was a pair of black boxer briefs. Lu Yan squatted down with the first aid kit and rolled up a corner of his underwear. Sure enough, there were bullet marks on his thigh. Xiao Nan is a despicable man. I don't know if the bullets are poisoned. I have to scrape off the rotten flesh. In order not to affect your brain, I'm not going to give you anesthesia. It might hurt a lot. Bear with it. Okay. Xiao Fei nodded. Lu Yen pulled out her dagger and burned it with a candle. Then, she carefully scraped off the rotten flesh. Although it was just skin on the surface, it was still very painful. Although Xiao Fei was a tough guy, he didn't make a sound, but his forehead was covered with sweat. Almost done. Then, Lu Yen quickly treated the wound. She used iodophor to reduce the inflammation and sprinkled some white powder on it. This is a wound medicine I developed myself. In less than 3 days, you'll regrow your flesh and recover. Okay. It's done. Lu Yen was in a good mood. After treating the wound, she patted Xiao Fei's thigh with her small white hand. The thigh was a sensitive part of a man. Being patted by her, Xiao Fei actually had a reaction. Lu Yen was a bit confused when she saw the tent that suddenly appeared. Although this great aunt wasn't afraid of anything and knew everything from the heavens to the earth, when it came to matters between men and women, she only knew the theory and had never put it into practice. So, she didn't react immediately. He even touched it with his hand out of curiosity. What's going on here? Are there any external injuries? Yen, don't move. Xiao Fei stopped her in time. What's wrong? Lu Yen looked confused. I'm afraid I won't be able to resist eating you. Xiao Fei blushed. Only then did Lu Yen realize what was going on, and she blushed furiously. You're really shameless. How can you do this? Please. You were the one who touched me. I didn't do anything. Xiao Fei said innocently. Psycho Xiao, you took advantage of me. Lu Yen immediately covered her face with her hands. Alright, stop fooling around. Let me ask you, was the thing you were holding in your hand really ghost number 1? Xiao Fei asked seriously. Hearing this, Lu Yen immediately put down her hand and smiled smugly. Take a guess. I guess not. Why? Lu Yen was curious. Because of ghost number 1, since a terrorist organization offered billions to buy it back then, the cost of production must be very high. I don't think you would make many of such expensive things, much less carry them with you. Smart. So, what was the thing you threatened Xiaonan with? Xiao Fei was curious. Chapter 2599. Are you talking about this? Lu Yen took out a tiny object from her pocket. Xiao Fei took a step back subconsciously, making Lu Yen giggle. Don't be scared. This isn't Ghost One. So this is? It's just a tiny tracker. Lu Yen smiled. Tracker? Okay, you scared Xiaonan away with this thing. You're awesome. Xiao Fei gave her a thumbs up. Wrong. Xiaonan wasn't scared of Ghost One. He was scared of my fearless determination. After all, those who have nothing to lose are not afraid of those who have nothing to lose. Anyways, it was too dangerous this time. We can't do it again, Xiao Fei said faintly. How dare you say that? I did it to save you. I don't care if I die, but you can't die. Xiao Fei was adamant. Bullshit. If you die, what's the point of me living? Lu Yen blurted out in anger. She didn't even think about it. It was only after he finished speaking that he realized what he had said. Listening to it carefully, it sounded like a naked confession. Xiao Fei was surprised and happy. So, Yen, you're willing to live and die with me, right? In your dreams? I'm just afraid that I'll be bored after you die, Lu Yen said stubbornly. But no matter what she said, she couldn't hide her feelings. Yen, it seems like my feelings for you weren't in vain. Xiao Fei looked at the beautiful girl in front of him lovingly. Stop talking nonsense. I'm so hungry. Let's go out and eat. No, the beef I bought is still here. Didn't you want to eat stewed beef? I'll make it for you. Then, Xiao Fei stood up and carefully took out the beef he bought. After going through a life and death battle, he didn't expect that the beef was still there and that he would still remember it. Lu Yan's eyes moistened. Ever since she got together with Xiao Fei, she was easily touched. She was a fearless tomboy, but now, she had a gentleness unique to young girls. When Xiao Fei went to cook, Lu Yan leaped onto the roof and sat down with her knees bent, watching the setting sun in the distance. She looked down, turned on the radio watch on her wrist, and pressed a familiar number. Hello, I'm Huamin. In his office, Huamin picked up the phone while reading the documents Chenjie had sent him. Sister, she said softly. Huamin was extremely excited. Little Yen, is that you? Yes. Where are you? Are you okay? Why haven't you called me recently? Are you hurt? You're still in Russia? Did Dad contact you? How is he? Huamin wished he could ask a bunch of questions. Lu Yen chuckled. Sis? How am I supposed to answer all your questions? Lu Yen smiled. Then I'll ask you one by one. Are you okay? Huamin asked gently. Good. Lu Yen wouldn't tell Huamin that she and Xiao Fei had just experienced a thrilling chase. Then, are you still in Russia with the Qiao family? Huamin heard from Qin Chu that the Qiao family had a lot of influence in Russia. So, if Lu Yen stayed in Russia, she should be safe. I'm still in Russia. Lu Yen lied to reassure her sister. Then, is your boyfriend good to you? Very good. Don't worry, sis. Have you contacted Dad recently? Huamin asked immediately. Chapter 2600. Yeah, Dad's fine. That old man's smarter than I am. He'll be fine, Lu Yen joked. You're always so arrogant. Be careful, okay? I know. Sis, how are you doing? I'm fine. Really? How come I heard that you're getting a divorce? Lu Yen was always well informed. It's just a small conflict. The media likes to hype things up. Don't worry about it. How are Little Bean and Pudding? They're fine. Don't worry. Okay. If someone bullies you, tell me. I'll blow her up for you. Huamin liked Lu Yen very much because she was very similar to him in many ways. She was fearless, brave in the face of danger, and hot-tempered to blow people up for no reason. Huamin loved her very much. Sis, what are you laughing at? I'm serious. I have many bombs of all kinds. The most advanced bombs in the world, homing missiles, and even rocket launchers, I can get them all. Ha! Huamin laughed. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. I know. Then why are you laughing? I feel like you don't believe me and think I'm bragging. Lu Yen rubbed her temples in frustration. It's just that. I'm just an ordinary person. You really don't need to use rocket launchers. It's such a waste. Okay. Sis, don't be afraid of anything. I'll protect you if anything happens. Yen, have to be careful too. Okay? I know. It's okay. Hey, sis, I'll hang up now. So soon. Huamin was reluctant to hang up. He rarely talked to Lu Yen on the phone, so he didn't want to hang up. International calls are expensive, Lu Yen said deliberately. Nonsense. You don't need money. Huamin laughed. He knew Lu Yen was very rich. Just the gifts she gave the twins were worth more than 100 million yuan. I'm just teasing you. I still have something to do here, so I can't chat with you for too long. But I'll call you often. Okay, you have to remember to tell me that you're safe. Goodbye, sis. Goodbye, Yin. After hanging up, Lu Yen was a bit disappointed. She didn't want to sit and chat with Huamin in a cafe. She went shopping with her sister, bought some clothes, got a beauty salon, and played golf. However, that had never been her way of life. She was destined to be a queen from the moment she was born. Sometimes, she would fantasize about how great it would be if she was the one her parents had lost. Then, she could be like her sister and live an ordinary life. She wanted to go to university, do what she liked, get a boyfriend she loved deeply, and then get married after graduation and have a bunch of babies of her own. However, the dreams of ordinary people were out of Lu Yan's reach. Yen, dinner is ready. We can eat now. Xiao Fei stood below the house and looked up at the roof. Lu Yan only said one word. Then she leaped down from the roof. She jumped down from a height of more than 3 meters. She had to admit that she was very good at martial arts. While they were eating and chatting, Lu Yan suddenly asked emotionally, Xiao Fei, do you know what my dream was when I was 5 years old? Was it to be a bomb expert? Xiao Fei asked. Chapter 2601. Damn it. Don't tease me. Fine, I was still young back then and didn't know about explosives. I wanted to be a mercenary or a bomb expert. Then what did you want to be? Lu Yen lowered her head and took a sip of the beef soup. Then she looked up and said seriously, my dream was to be an architect. An architect? Xiao Fei froze. This didn't match Lu Yan's temperament at all. Yes, architect. At that time, I didn't know that this profession was called architect. I just thought that when I grew up, I would build a house. I would build a lot of beautiful houses for my family, my friends, my teachers, and my classmates to live in. I would build iconic houses, like the Palace of Versailles in France, the Taj Mahal, and the Forbidden City in China. Houses that would be remembered by many for many years. I felt that if others lived in the houses I designed, I would feel a sense of accomplishment. That's a good dream, Xiao Fei praised. Later, when I grew up, I gradually understood that sometimes people don't have a choice in this world. You can't do whatever you want. So, I envy my sister. She can be a doctor whenever she wants to. She can do what she likes. She's so happy. Yen, in the future, we'll get rid of Ian and change our names. We'll go to a country you like, a city you like, and start over. Then, you won't be the demoness of the mercenary world, and I won't be the young master of the Qiao family. We'll live a normal life, okay? Lu Yen clapped her hands happily like a child. What about you, Xiao Fei? What's your dream? If we have a chance to start over, what do you want to do? I want to open a restaurant. A restaurant? Lu Yen was surprised. My great-grandfather's father was a chef from the Qing dynasty. His cooking was especially delicious. It said that his all-fish banquet was very famous at that time, and he was even summoned by the Qing dynasty's emperor to cook for him in the palace's imperial kitchen. It's just that, later, when the dynasty changed, there was unrest, and our family lost this skill. When my great-grandfather was a firebrand, he made a fuss about wanting to cook the Qiao family's private home cuisine, but he didn't agree, saying that it wouldn't make much money. In the end, we relied on underhanded means to build up our family's business and ended up in our current state. If we can live without our current identities in the future, I want to open a Qiao family's private home cuisine restaurant. Damn, that's a good idea. But what can you do? Do you only sell stewed beef? Lu Yen covered her mouth and laughed. Of course not. I know a lot. I've done a lot of research on this. In the future, I'll make one for you every day. Okay, I'm in for a treat. So, you want to be my wife? Xiao Fei began to be narcissistic. Don't be so smug. You're lucky to marry me. With your wife protecting you, no one will dare to bully you. Who cares if it's Xiao Nan or Ian? If anyone dares to touch my man, I'll beat them into a pulp. As she spoke, Lu Yen began to transform into a tough woman. However, Xiao Fei didn't mind at all. He looked at Lu Yen with love in his eyes. He felt that in his heart, no woman in the world could compare to Lu Yan's childish smile. Perhaps falling in love with someone was that simple. Whether it was in this life, the next life, or the life after that, he wanted to be with her and never get tired of her. Inside Southside Recuperation Center, Vice Director Huamin, bad news. Dr. Lu is in trouble. Hurry up and take a look. A doctor knocked on the door in a hurry to inform Huamin. Chapter 2602. Which Dr. Lu? Huamin didn't know how to react. Southside was so big and there were so many doctors with the surname Lu. How did Huamin know which one it was? It's Dr. Lu Zhe. What happened to him? Huamian didn't really like Lu Zhe and was always on guard against him. Therefore, when she heard that something had happened to him, she was worried. Huamin wasn't worried at all. Instead, he was suspicious and on guard. Dr. Lu fainted in the operating room. Fainted? Is the surgery done? It's done. Thank goodness it's done. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to find another doctor. Okay, I'll go take a look. When Lu Zhe fainted in the operating room, the news spread like wildfire at Southside. Director Wu was rarely around, so Huamian, as a higher-up, had to go and see what was going on. Inside the emergency room, Vice Director is here. Everyone make way. When they saw Huamin, everyone made way for him. Huamin walked in. How is it, Dr. Zhao? What happened to Dr. Lu? Huamin asked the doctor who saved Lu Zhe. I just did a checkup on Dr. Lu and found that he has hypoglycemia. Dr. Lu has been working overtime recently. He's been working the night shift for a few days and had 3 major surgeries in a row. He's exhausted and his blood sugar is low. That's why he fainted. Vice Director, I suggest that you give him a break and let him rest. Okay, I got it. Huamin let out a sigh of relief when he heard that it wasn't a big deal. When she walked into the emergency room, Lu Zhe had already woken up. He didn't look well. However, when he saw Huamin, he forced a smile. Vice Director, you're here. Rest well. If you have hypoglycemia, you can't be too tired. Why are you working overtime? Huamin looked at him. Our department is short of manpower recently. Because we were transferred to the first hospital, we are very busy. Dr. Wang's daughter has been having a fever recently, so I let her take her annual leave in advance. I thought I could handle it for a few days. Who knew that I would be so unlucky to encounter 3 major operations, huh? He smiled tiredly. We can only save other people's lives if we take good care of ourselves. How about this? From now on, I'll give you a week off. No, if I'm on vacation, there'll be no one in our department. Lu Zhe objected. Don't worry, I'll make the necessary arrangements. You can rest well. With that, Huamin turned to leave. Vice Principal, anything else? Do you hate me? Lu Zhe suddenly asked. Why do you say that? As the leader of the hospital, I treat everyone equally, Huamin said in a formal tone. Vice Director, you're lying. You don't treat everyone equally. I know you hate Zhang Manlin and me. You hate Zhang Manlin because she seduced your husband. What about me? Why do you hate me? We used to be classmates. I don't understand. I don't hate you, Dr. Lu. You're thinking too much. Vice Director, if you don't hate me, can you shake my hand and make peace with me? Lu Zhe reached out his hand. Huamin actually didn't want to shake his hand, but there were so many doctors and nurses watching. If she didn't give Lu Zhe a way out, she would look petty. Therefore, she had to bite the bullet and shake his hand. The moment she shook Lu Zhe's hand, Zhang Manlin took out her phone from behind the crowd and took a photo. She sent it to Qin Chu on Weibo. President Qin, our vice director seems to care a lot about Dr. Lu, she said. Chapter 2603. After reading it, Xianxia's expression changed slightly. When did this happen? Just now. Our Dr. Lu fainted, and the vice director was very worried. She even came to see him personally. I always thought that she was just concerned about her subordinates, but I was surprised to see them shaking hands. I heard that our vice director is a germaphobe and rarely comes into contact with people. Yet, she was able to shake hands with Dr. Lu. This is a bit strange, President Qin. I think that we're good friends, so it's better for you to know about this. Otherwise, everyone will know about it, and you'll be the only one left in the dark. That would be bad. Okay, I got it. If you're sad or uncomfortable, let's go out for a drink after I get off work? Zhang Manlin offered. No need, I'm hanging up. After speaking, Xianxia coldly hung up the phone. Interacting with Zhang Manlin wasn't easy, because he had to act natural and not be too close to her. Being close to her would make Wuxia suspicious, but being too cold would slow things down. So, Xianxia had to be careful. It was quite tiring. It wasn't strange for Zhang Manlin to do something like this, because she didn't have a high EQ to begin with. Xianxia didn't know where Lu Zhe came from, or if he was one of Wuxia's men, but he did want to get close to Huamian. Then, Zhang Manlin had evidence and came to tell on him. Her goal was obvious. She wanted to break him and his wife apart. But after so many years, how could a few pretentious bitches ruin it? Xianxia used to think that other than death, nothing could separate him and Huamian. But now, he felt that even death couldn't separate them, because if something happened to Huamian, he wouldn't live alone. No matter if it was heaven or earth, they were destined to be together forever. At this thought, Xianxia took out Huamian's photo from his drawer, cherishing the memories they shared over the years. No matter when or where, no matter what year or month, he thought Huamian would always be the person he treasured the most in his life. No one could compare, not even the twins. This was a unique kind of love, one that carried a strong possessive desire, and even a little selfish and paranoid love. Huo Corporation headquarters, Zhang Manlin sneaked out to see Wuxia while she was filing taxes for the hospital. Boss, Zhang Manlin is here. Let her in. Wuxia put down the teacup in his hand. Then, Zhang Manlin walked in, wearing black overalls. She was wearing a pair of black-rimmed glasses, like Huamian's, like Huamian. Those who weren't familiar with them would think that they were Huamian. In fact, Wuxia and Xianxia, who were familiar with Huamian, could tell at a glance. No matter how much she tried to imitate Huamian, she still didn't learn the essence of Huamian. In the words of the King of Heaven, he was always imitated, but never surpassed. Big Brother Qian. Sit, Lin Lin. Wuxia poured her a cup of tea. This made Zhang Manlin feel flattered. Big Brother Qian, don't worry. I'm sure Xianxia is at GK, and Huamian is at South Side. That's why I came to see you. No one followed me. You've always been reliable. I'm not worried. Wuxia nodded. Big Brother Qian, things have been going well lately, but something like this happened today. Then, Zhang Manlin excitedly sent the photo she took of Lu Zhe and Huamian to Xianxia, feeling proud of herself. However, to her surprise, Wuxia's face darkened. Big Brother Qian, what's wrong? Did I do something wrong? Zhang Manlin was a bit nervous. Chapter 2604. Lin Lin, you're still young. Do you think Xianxia will believe you if you use such a low-level trick on him? I think he already has a misunderstanding about Huamian, so I'm just adding fuel to the fire. I think it's working. Zhang Manlin was full of confidence as if she wanted to take credit from Wuxia. Then you're using the wrong person. Xianxia won't believe that there's something going on between Lu Zhe and Mian. Why don't you use Su Yu instead? Su Yu? Zhang Manlin froze. Su Yu is the opponent that Xianxia cares about the most. Especially when Xianxia was abroad for 4 years, it was Su Yu who took care of Mian. Although Xianxia didn't say anything, he still feels uncomfortable. So, I think the best way is to use their conflict. Big Brother Qian, are you saying that you want me to intensify the conflict between Su Yu and Xianxia and put Huamian in a difficult position? She finally understood what Wuxia meant. Qin Chu was Huamin's husband. Suyu was her best friend. So, once the conflict between the two men broke out, Huamin would be in a difficult position. The Su family had helped her and the twins, so she didn't want to fall out with Suyu. But if she didn't fall out with him and spoke up for Suyu, Qin Chu would misunderstand that she had feelings for Suyu. Zhang Manlin had an epiphany and couldn't help but be impressed by her boss's careful thinking. I can get in touch with Qin Chu, but Suyu, it's not easy. Do you think it's difficult, or do you not want to get in touch with Suyu? Hua Xiqian looked up and asked. Big brother Qian, what do you mean? Zhang Manlin smiled awkwardly. Lin, you're young, it's normal for you to make mistakes. But don't take me for an idiot. Big brother Qian, you're getting more and more ridiculous. What's wrong with me? Zhang Manlin couldn't hold it in anymore. She was terrified of Hua Xiqian because she saw Hua Xiqian deal with traitors and spies with her own eyes. She knew how tragically those people had died, so she didn't dare to anger Hua Xiqian no matter how brave she was. Lin, you like Qin Chu, right? Hua Xiqian looked down, fiddling with the ring on his finger, and asked nonchalantly. Big brother Qian, I don't. Zhang Manlin was shocked. Don't be in such a hurry to deny it. I rarely jump to conclusions, but once I do, I have enough evidence to back it up. So, Lin, you can't fool me. You're trying so hard to get close to Qin Chu and break them apart. Not only are you doing your best for me, but you're also falling in love with him. Big brother Qian. Zhang Manlin bit her lips, embarrassed. Hua Xiqian saw through her little thoughts, so she couldn't even deny it. It was indeed embarrassing. She thought Hua Xiqian would be furious, but he wasn't. He slowly picked up his teacup and carefully sipped his tea. Then, he glanced at Zhang Manlin and continued, But you can't blame me. But I can't blame you. No normal woman can escape from a man like Qin Chu. He's rich, handsome, cold, and has everything he wants. Not just you, but anyone else would fall for him. Big brother Qian, I know who I am and what my mission is. I won't delay your plan, please trust me. Zhang Manlin anxiously expressed her loyalty to Hua Xiqian. Lin, we don't have much time left. Hua Xiqian suddenly changed the topic. Chapter 2605. Big brother Qian, I know you're anxious. I'll do it as soon as possible. Zhang Manlin felt like she played a big role in this. Actually, don't feel pressured. Just follow the original plan. I'm just saying that I'm running out of time. Big brother Qian, don't worry. You'll definitely be the vice director. Hua Xiqian smiled but didn't say anything. Big brother Qian, don't be mad. I'll do what you told me and change the target. I'll try to sow discord between Qin Chu and Suyu. And just do your best. I'll leave now. Zhang Manlin didn't dare to stay any longer. She was afraid that the more she said, the more mistakes she would make. This was someone she couldn't afford to offend. If she angered him, he might bury her alive. Wait, Lin, Hua Xiqian called out. Huh? Zhang Manlin turned around. Did you just say that Lu Zhe shook hands with Mian? Hua Xiqian asked with a smile. Zhang Manlin nodded, a little confused. Okay. You can leave now. Zhang Manlin walked out, trembling. Then, Hua Xiqian stood up and walked to the floor-to-ceiling window. His eyes became deep and profound. Southside Recuperation Center, Huamin took care of all the chores in the afternoon and felt dizzy. The weather had warmed up recently, but the seasons were changing. Huamin felt like he was going to catch a cold. Sister Mian, are you okay? Chen Jia asked worriedly when she saw Huamian's tired face. I'm fine, just a little tired. Then you can go home when it's time. Don't work overtime. Emichim, I'll leave early today. Huamin packed up and walked out with her bag and car keys. When she got to her car, she saw a bouquet of light pink roses on the hood. She picked it up and saw a card written on it. Thank you, Vice Director, for your care and concern. There was no signature, but it sounded like Lu Zhe. She looked around but didn't see anyone. She picked up her phone and called him. Vice Principal, Dr. Lu, did you send the flowers? Yes, I specially ordered it for you. Thank you for your care, Vice Dean. But isn't it inappropriate for you to give her roses? Huamin was a little displeased. Wasn't there enough gossip recently? From Wei Dong to Jiang Yi to Su Yi. Oh my god, now there's Lu Zhe. It's going to explode. Oh, roses don't necessarily represent love. This is a Bulgarian rose. The color is very beautiful. I thought you would like it. I'm sorry, I really don't like it. Don't do this again. After saying that, Huamin directly took the roses out of the car. He wanted to throw them on the ground, but he was afraid that they would pollute the environment. At that moment, he saw a nurse walk out from inside. Whoa. Weisstein, you were looking for me? This is for you. If you like it, you can keep it at home. If you don't like it, you can throw it into the trash can. Thank you. After saying that, Huamin turned around and got into the car. He drove away, leaving the confused nurse behind. When Huamin came home from work, Qin Ning was wearing casual home clothes and playing mobile games with the twins. Mommy, you're back? Little Bean greeted her. Where's Grandpa and Grandma? Seeing that his in-laws weren't home, Huamin changed his shoes and asked. Grandpa and Grandma went to visit an old friend. He said that one of Grandpa's old friends came back from Hong Kong and wanted to eat, drink tea, and take a sauna, Little Bean said. Okay. Huamin nodded. Mommy, you didn't come back with Daddy? Little Bean asked. Your daddy isn't back yet? Huamin just realized that Qin Chu's car wasn't outside. It seemed that he was careless. Sis-in-law, what's going on between you and my brother? Qin Ning couldn't sit still anymore. She stood up and secretly asked Huamin, afraid that the twins would hear. Chapter 2606. I'm really fine. Huamin smiled. I don't believe you. Sister-in-law, you're not telling the truth. Do you think I'm an outsider? Qin Ning pouted. No, of course not. I just think there's no need for everyone to know about a small conflict between husband and wife. You call this a small conflict? You guys are going to divorce. Divorce? No way. I'm Cinderella and I finally married into a rich family. I don't want a divorce. If I get a divorce, who's going to buy me Hermes bags and drive me a Porsche? Ha, Huamin joked. Sister-in-law, you're so careless. How can you laugh at a time like this? Careless people live longer. Huamin tried to lighten the mood. Forget it. I won't ask you anymore. I'll ask my brother later. Qin Ning saw that Huamin wasn't going to say anything, so she decided to ask Qin Chu. Actually, it's useless to ask your brother. He won't say anything. After all, he's like that. Huamin analyzed. That's not necessarily true. I'm his favorite sister. Before I married you, my brother and I were very close. Ha, I even know something you don't know. Qin Ning was so proud that she almost spilled the beans. What is it? Huamin immediately caught the key point. My brother. He has a weak stomach and can't eat too much seafood. But because he loves you, he still wants to eat with you, Qin Ning said guiltily. But it was obvious that this was just an excuse and not what she wanted to say. It seemed that Mr. Qin was indeed hiding something from her and Qin Ning knew about it. Huamin had a plan in her mind, but on the surface, she didn't say anything. A young lady, it's time for dinner. Okay, you get ready. I'm going upstairs to take a shower. After that, Huamin went upstairs to take a shower. When she came downstairs, it was almost 7 o'clock, but Qin Chu was still not back. Mommy, I'm so hungry, Little Bean said pitifully. Then let's eat first. Looking at the time, Huamin felt that Qin Chu probably wouldn't come back for dinner. My brother is too much. Why doesn't he even go home? He's getting worse and worse. Qin Ning also nagged. Huamin, Qin Ning, and the twins sat around the huge dining table to eat. They didn't have much of an appetite for the meal. Huamin was groggy. She had indeed caught a cold. Sister-in-law, you don't look too good. Yeah, maybe I caught a little cold, Huamin said listlessly. Then hurry up and take your medicine. You're a doctor, don't you have common sense? Qin Ning urged. I can't. All medicine is poison. I'll ask the kitchen to make me a bowl of ginger tea. I'll be fine. After dinner, Qin Chu still hadn't come back. Pudding was lying on the sofa reading the financial news, while Little Bean was eating fruit and reading comics. Qi Ning was holding her phone and chatting with Tang Chuan. The two were really in love. Even when they were texting, they had happy smiles on their faces. Huamin was about to give orders to the kitchen when she saw that only the maid, Kai Yu, was in the kitchen. She dismissed the idea of asking her to make ginger tea. After all, she was pregnant with her second child. It would be troublesome if this woman did something to it. "A young lady, if you need anything, just ask me," Kai Yu said. "Oh, it's okay. I want to make some ginger tea. I'm bored, so I'll do it myself." Then Huamin began to get busy. Kai Yu was washing the dishes and wiping the kitchen. Huamin suddenly turned to look at her and asked, "Kai Yu, how long have you been living with us?" "Almost 4 months." "Oh, who introduced you when you came?" Huamian asked casually. Kai Yu's expression became unnatural. Chapter 2607. I came to apply for the job myself. Really? Then how did you know that I'm hiring? I remember. Uncle Lee is very low-key and doesn't like to advertise. Kai Yu obviously didn't expect Huamin to ask this, so she was at a loss for words. I heard it from a friend. What kind of friend is this? Why are you so well informed? How does he know about South Hill Manor? Maybe my friend's relative used to work at my place and that's how he found out. A young lady, I'm going to empty the trash can, huh? Kai Yu felt guilty and didn't dare to continue chatting with Huamin. She lowered her head, picked up the trash bag and left. Huamin smiled. On the other hand, the little girl was impatient and couldn't hold it in after Huamin asked her. After Kai Yu left, she immediately took out her phone and wanted to call Huasiqian to report, but no one picked up. Huh? That's weird. What's wrong with the boss today? He's not picking up his phone? Kai Yu hid in a corner of the back garden of South Hill Manor and mumbled. At this moment, in a wealthy district in the city, Lu Zhe was very tired today. His blood sugar was low and he was really tired, but his behavior today was a bit too exaggerated. He thought that Huamin would take pity on him, but to his surprise, Huamin was still as cold as ice. After parking his flashy purple Ferrari downstairs, he walked out with the keys. Huamin, this woman. She's so unromantic. I don't know why Qin Chu and Suyu like her. She's not good-looking, not good-looking, not good-looking. Most importantly, she's so arrogant. A woman like her would be boring if she laid naked on the bed. She's probably like a dead fish, huh? He mumbled to himself as he walked upstairs. This was the 6th-floor bungalow garden. Each bungalow was more than 200 square meters in size. Everyone in Southside knew that Lu Zhe didn't lack money. He was a rich second-generation heir who came back from overseas and had plenty of money. The cars he drove were all limited edition. Although he wasn't as ostentatious as Su Yu and not as reserved as Qin Chu, he was indeed more willful when he was rich. After returning to China, Lu Zhe kept in touch with Han Su and the others occasionally. He also hung out with some of the young masters in the circle. He even met Shen Mingxi a few times. As for being a doctor at Southside, many people thought that he had too much money and no longer had any dreams, so he found something to do to relieve his boredom. But that wasn't the case. He only had one goal in mind when he went to Southside, to chase after Huamin. Originally, he thought that with his good looks and gentleness to women, he would be able to win her over quickly. Who knew that Huamin, that woman, was like a block of wood? She did not give him any chance at all. Yesterday, he had barely held her hand, and he had even tried his best to pretend that he was seriously ill. Perhaps Lu Zhe was too tired, so he let his guard down. When he went upstairs, he did not notice that someone was following him. Until the moment he opened the door and entered the house, Lu Zhe was actually still in the hospital, but because he disliked the smell of formalin in the hospital, he ignored the doctor's advice and drove home in the middle of the night. The moment he opened the door, someone suddenly attacked him from behind. It felt like something had hit him in the back. Actually, it was aimed at his head. Fortunately, he had a sense of danger and instinctively leaned forward, dodging the attack. That heavy hit on his back sent a piercing pain through his bones. Lu Zhe staggered and fell to the ground. When he turned around, he saw a man wearing a skull mask with an axe in his hand. Instantly, he was terrified. Chapter 2608. Who are you? Lu Zhe was scared. I'm someone who wants your life. That person had used a voice changer, and the words he spoke were also strange, with a trembling voice. Brother, how much money do you want? Lu Zhe really thought that this man was a robber. The man with the axe sneered, I'm only interested in your life. Then he swung the axe down, and Lu Zhe was so scared that he almost peed his pants. He got up and ran towards the bedroom. Unfortunately, that person was faster than him. Before he could touch the bedroom door, his hair was grabbed by the man behind him. Then he pulled his hair and slammed it against the wall. It was extremely violent. Lu Zhe was seeing stars from this collision. Brother, if you want to kill me, you should at least let me know. What did I do to offend you? Lu Zhe didn't understand. He just came back not long ago, and he didn't make any enemies at the hospital. Wait, the hospital? Lu Zhe suddenly thought of something and asked the man, did Qin Chu send you? He thought that Qin Chu got jealous because he was too close with Huamin, so he sent someone to deal with him. Qin Chu? He doesn't deserve to command me. Then, the man raised his axe and swung it down. Lu Zhe dodged once again, but his arm was firmly stepped on by that person. Instead of enjoying your life, you came back to die. Today, I'll fulfill your wish. Then, the man raised his axe again. Lu Zhe saw this and knew that if he didn't fight back, he would lose his life. So, he used his head to slam into the man's stomach. Perhaps the man didn't expect him to fight back so desperately, so the axe in his hand was sent flying far away. He tried to get up, but the man still didn't let him go. He used his foot to pin Lu Zhe's arm down. In order to protect himself, Lu Zhe turned around to get a toolbox not far away. But before he could touch it, he felt something cold on his wrist. What followed was excruciating pain. He turned around and saw the man slit his wrist with a dagger. Blood immediately spurted out. It was extremely terrifying. Save me, save me. Finally, he broke down and cried out. Perhaps it was not his time to die. In order to protect these rich people, this residential area had installed sound alarms. When the alarm automatically recognized an abnormal decibel sound, it would automatically sound the alarm, and the alarm would beep. The man with the skull mask slowly stood up. I'll let you go today. With that, he quickly opened the door and left. Lu Zhe struggled to get up. He wanted to go to the hospital, but suddenly he had a bad idea. Then he slowly picked up his phone and dialed a number using an app that blocked numbers. Then he said, I know a secret about Huamin. If you want to know, come to number 5 Zhongguan Road, Tianqi Public Relations, Building 7, 601. After saying that, he crawled on the ground in exhaustion and called the hospital. I'm injured. Come and pick me up? Don't worry, I can treat my wounds temporarily. You can come in 15 minutes. After receiving Dr. Lu's call, the ambulance at Southside immediately started preparing. Inside a club, Su Yu, Tang Chuan, and Wei Liao hadn't gotten together in a long time. They were drinking. After Su Yu finished the call, his expression changed and he stood up to leave. Lord Su, where are you going? What happened? Tang Chuan asked. Chapter 2609. Oh, it's my own business, Su Yu said, trying to cover it up. What's the matter with you? Tang Chuan asked. Yeah, what business do you have that we can't know about? Wei Liao looked up at Su Yu. You guys won't know even if I tell you. Let's go, I'll make arrangements for you two tomorrow night. Su Yu always cared about Huamin, especially anything related to Huamin. So, when he heard it was about Huamin's secret, Su Yu couldn't stay calm. He wasn't in the mood to drink with Wei Liao and the others anymore. It hadn't been very peaceful recently, and he was afraid that someone would do something to hurt Huamin. After leaving the club, Su Yu didn't immediately get into his car. Instead, he called Huamin. Hello. Huamin was putting on a face mask at South Hill Manor. It was strange to receive a call from Su Yu at this time. Mian, what are you doing? I'm putting on a face mask at home. What's wrong? Nothing, I just want to know what you're doing. Huh, how boring are you, Lord Su? Huamin teased. It's nothing, you can continue. Hearing Huamin's tone, Su Yu relaxed. It meant that Huamin was safe. However, that person said he knew Huamin's secret. Su Yu was still worried, so he opened the car door and sped away. What he wanted to know wasn't Huamin's secret. He wanted to see who was hiding in the dark and trying to scheme against Huamin. In short, he wanted to get rid of all those who were harmful to Huamin. Even if he couldn't be with her, he wanted to protect her for the rest of her life. Su Yu's thinking was that simple. That was why he fell into someone's trap so easily. It wasn't because he was stupid. Su Yu never had a low EQ. It was all because he loved Huamin too much. Su Yu followed the address given on the phone and arrived in less than 12 minutes. He walked into the neighborhood and found the address upstairs. When he arrived, he found that the door was unlocked. Based on his intuition as a soldier for many years, he had a bad feeling that something had happened inside. But, thinking that this might have something to do with Huamian, he hesitated for a moment before opening the door and going in. There was a sharp fruit knife on the floor, stained with blood stains. Then Mion's to S's to have a look and smell. Mion B's something, Su, you're finally here. Lu Zhe leaned against the wall, covering the wound on his other hand with one hand to stop the bleeding. At this moment, there was a strange smile on his face. You know me? Su Yu looked at Lu Zhe in confusion. He didn't know who Dr. Lu was at Southside. He didn't look like someone he knew, nor did he look like someone he knew in the past. It was a completely unfamiliar face. Before Lu Zhe could answer, he heard hurried footsteps from outside. Suddenly, Lu Zhe screamed, Su Yu, don't kill me, I beg you. I'll give you anything you want, please don't kill me. Fuck? What are you talking about? Su Yu was dumbfounded when he heard what Huamian said. When the paramedics from Southside arrived, they saw this scene. Su Yu stood in front of Lu Zhe with a fruit knife in his hand. Lu Zhe was injured and bleeding profusely. His face looked haggard. Oh my God, what's going on? The paramedics who had rushed over were also shocked. Chapter 2610. Help! Help! He's trying to kill me. Call the police. Lu Zhe yelled frantically. What are you talking about? Didn't you ask me to come? You said it's about what? Help me! Lu Zhe's eyes closed and he fainted on the ground after saying those two words. Su Yu swallowed the words he was about to say. He suddenly realized that he might have been set up. Now was not the time to mention Huamin's name. After Su Yu saw Lu Zhe faint, he turned around and saw 4 paramedics rushing over. I didn't do it, he tried to explain patiently. When the paramedics saw the look in Su Yu's eyes, they backed away in fear. It really wasn't me. Murderers never admit that they've killed anyone, and drunk drivers never admit that they've drunk too much, a male doctor said coldly. Let's save him first. It looks like Dr. Lu is seriously injured. The paramedics carried Lu Zhe downstairs, and Su Yu followed them. Just as he was about to leave, he was stopped by a police car. Lord Su, why are you here? Gao Ran was surprised to see Su Yu. Su Yu wanted to explain, but he didn't know what to say. The city bureau just received news that there might be an intentional assault case here. I'm on duty, so I came to check it out. Why are you here? Gao Ran was also confused. Su Yu suddenly realized what was going on. He whispered to Gao Ran, I think I might have been set up. Set up? Gao Ran was even more confused. I'll explain it to you later. You're the suspect. Gao Ran finally understood. Su Yu nodded. Fuck, this is complicated. It's okay, just do your job. There are so many people watching, you can't be biased. Su Yu expressed his understanding. But because of Qin Chu and Huamin, Gao Ran and Su Yu weren't particularly good friends, but they often ate together. They knew each other very well. Not to mention that the injured man was a male doctor. Even if it was the governor, Su Yu wouldn't have done it. Let me ask you, do you know the injured man? Gao Ran asked in a low voice. I don't know him, but he seems to know me. It looks like he did come prepared. Gao Ran felt that there was something fishy going on. At this time, more and more people gathered around and even the media was alerted. I'm sorry, Lord Su, I'll take you back to the bureau. Of course, let's go. Su Yu admitted that he was unlucky and obediently followed Gao Ran into the police car. So, in the middle of the night, the night to break, Su family's young master suspected of intentional assault, male victim status unknown. When the news got out, Tang Chuan and Wei Liao were so scared that they almost peed their pants. Su Yu hadn't left the club for long, right? How could he have hurt someone? Did he get into a fight? Huamin was about to go to bed after putting on his mask when he was distracted by two things. First, the hospital called to say that Lu Zhe was seriously injured and was being resuscitated. Second, Gao Ran called to say that Su Yu had been taken away for investigation. There might be something fishy going on, so he asked Huamin to go to South Side and ask what happened if Lu Zhe was okay. Huamin wasn't in the mood to sleep. He got up, put on his clothes, and was about to go out. Coincidentally, she bumped into Qin Chu, who was returning late. It's so late, where are you going? Qin Chu looked at Huamin and asked coldly. Chapter 26:11. Something happened at the hospital. Why do you have to go? Qin Chu's attitude was cold. Lu Zhe is in trouble, and Su Yu is involved as well. I have to go take a look. Lu Zhe, Su, why do you care about everyone but me? Huamin was anxious, and when he heard Qin Chu's words, he was a little angry. However, he suddenly remembered that Mr. Qin was never like this, so he must be acting. Was the living room bugged as well? He didn't have time to think, so he had to continue acting. When did I not care about you? Qin Chu, don't be unreasonable, okay? You're not allowed to leave, we'll have dinner together as a family. No, it's really urgent. Huamin was anxious. Huamin, you're just a deputy director. South Side still has President Wu. You don't have to do everything. Qin Chu was a little angry. Even so, I don't care about Lu Zhe's life or death, but what about Su Yu? Can I turn a blind eye to his affairs? So, who is Su Yu to you? Qin Chu coldly glanced at Huamin's face. What do you mean by that? Huamin was confused. Isn't it clear enough? Mian, in the 4 years that I was away, you didn't just see Su Yu as a good friend, did you? What nonsense are you talking about? You know best whether I'm talking nonsense or not. I don't have time to argue with you, I have to go to the hospital. If you go, don't come back. Huamin was already at the door when he heard Qin Chu's words. He immediately turned around. Say that again? I said, if you don't listen to me today and insist on minding other men, then don't come back. Are you serious? You're not joking, right? Huamin asked with a pained expression. I never make such jokes. Qin Chu was extremely serious. Alright, I got it. Don't regret it. With that, Huamin left without looking back. After Huamin left, Qin Chu lifted an antique vase from the living room and smashed it on the ground with a loud crash. In an instant, the vase was smashed to pieces. Daddy, what's going on? Little Bean stood on the stairs of the second floor and looked at her angry father. Qin Ning and Pudding also came downstairs. Brother, what happened? Qin Chu didn't say a word. Pudding, Little Bean, if Daddy and Mommy get divorced, who will you be with? Qin Chu looked up at his daughters. No, Daddy, don't divorce Mommy. Little Bean was so scared that she began to cry. Pudding was still calm. I don't care who. Qin Ning, brother, don't talk nonsense. Divorce? What divorce? All these years, it wasn't easy for you to be with my sister-in-law. You've been through so much together and you're not even afraid of death. How could a small misunderstanding turn you two into this? Is it because of that woman named Zhang Manlin? I'm going to find her tomorrow and tear her face apart, Qin Ning cursed angrily. It's none of your business. Brother, I'm doing this for your own good. We don't need you to do this for our own good. Ning, how about this? Pack your luggage tonight and take my parents, Pudding and Little Bean back to the States. I'll book the fastest flight for you, Qin Chu said with a cold face. Are you trying to get rid of us? What about my sister-in-law? What about her? Qin Ning asked. Chapter 26:12. Don't worry about her, she's great, and she's very capable. From Wei Dong to Lu Zhe, from Su Yu to Jiang Yi, all those men would do anything for her. Big brother, how can you say that about her? She's your wife. She's not going to be your wife soon. It's settled then. Daddy, I don't want to leave Mommy. I don't want Mommy to stay here. Little Bean felt sad at the thought of being separated from her mommy. Then you can stay here and live with your mommy. I don't want to be separated from my sister either. Daddy, we'll always be a family, right? Little Bean was crying so hard that her eyes were red. She looked so adorable. Qin Chu's heart ached for his daughter. He wanted to hug his daughter and comfort her. But he knew that if he didn't put on a good show, Huasiqian wouldn't believe him. If that happened, this battle would be endless. It was better to end it as soon as possible. Little Bean, no matter what, whether or not Daddy and Mommy can be together, you'll always be Daddy's daughter. In the end, Qin Chu turned around and went upstairs after saying those words. I suspect your daddy is under a spell. Should we find a wizard or something to check on him? Qin Ning knew her brother well. Although he was cold, he had never been so heartless. Especially to his wife and children. So, she felt that something was wrong. Little Bean grabbed Pudding's hand. Sis, think of something. I don't want Daddy and Mommy to divorce. That's not what I'm worried about. After all, I don't think anything will happen to Daddy and Mommy. I'm just worried that handsome Su won't be able to clear his name. Pudding held her phone and refreshed the news about Su Yu intentionally hurting people. Inside the Hua mansion, boss, who is this Lu Zhe? Why is he targeting Su Yu? Cheng poured a cup of tea for Huasiqian and asked carefully. I'm curious too. Why is this guy so unpredictable? Is he trying to court Mian? Does he want to get rid of Su Yu? That shouldn't be the case. If he wants Mian, he should be targeting Qin Chu. Why is Su Yu involved? Lu Zhe's move was so strange that even Huasiqian didn't understand it. We've investigated Lu Zhe before, and there's nothing suspicious about him. This is really strange. Forget it, it's better for us this way. I just heard Mian and Qin Chu arguing about this. I told Zhang Manlin to sow discord between Su Yu and Qin Chu, but that stupid woman was obsessed with Qin Chu and didn't listen to me. She almost delayed my progress. Now, this Lu Zhe unintentionally helped us. Then do we need to add more fuel to the fire? Cheng asked. Throw Su Yu into the teeth of the storm. Even so, Su Yu will be fine. The Su family is too powerful. Cheng was a little worried. I don't want anything to happen to Su Yu. It's not that easy to trip Su Yu. I want to distract Mian and make her focus on Su Yu. I want Qin Chu to have a deeper misunderstanding of her. That way, it'll be easier for me. Huasiqian finally smiled proudly. He believed that this time, Huamin and Qin Chu would be separated. South Side Recuperation Center, when Huamin arrived, Lu Zhe was already awake. His wound had been bandaged. Vice Director, you came to see me? Lu Zhe smiled slightly when he saw Huamin. Let me ask you, did Su Yu really hurt you? Did you see it clearly? Huamin looked at Lu Zhe coldly. Chapter 26:13. Vice Director, do you only care about Su Yu? He's not even your husband, why are you being so nice to him? Lu Zhe's eyes glinted fiercely when he heard that Huamin cared about Su Yu. Su Yu is a good friend of mine, Huamin said honestly. But I'm also a good subordinate of yours. Vice Director, you can't bend the law like this. Lu Zhe, I'm not going to beat around the bush with you. There's so much pressure from the public right now. I don't know if you did it on purpose or not. Why are you so adamant about Su Yu? It was Su Yu who hurt me. You're lying. Su Yu wouldn't do that. He doesn't even know you. What motive would he have to hurt you? Huamin glared at Lu Zhe angrily. He doesn't know me, but he does have a motive to hurt me, Lu Zhe said confidently. What motive? The whole world knows that he likes you, Lu Zhe purposely raised his voice. So? Huamin was still calm. So when he saw that I also like you, he couldn't stand it when he tried to get close to you. Especially when I was injured yesterday and held your hand. There are so many people in our hospital. Who knows if Suyu has arranged for spies to keep an eye on us? That doesn't make sense. What kind of person is Suyu? With his status, if he wants to kill you, he has thousands of ways to do it. He won't do it himself. But I can only vent my anger by doing it myself. He even told me to stay away from you. I didn't expect you to be so charming, Vice President. You're already married, but you still managed to make such a famous man fall head over heels for you. I'm impressed. Lu Zhe's words were filled with sarcasm and disdain. He was like a completely different person from before. He didn't even talk about being classmates anymore. Lu Zhe, what is your motive? Deputy Director, you must be joking. I'm here to work. I'm just an ordinary citizen. What purpose could I possibly have? Lu Zhe refused to admit it. Stop pretending. You've been planning everything from the moment you instigated Han Su to invite me to the party. I didn't expose you because I didn't want to be friends with someone like you. However, you've been up to no good lately. You've been playing games with me. I thought you wanted to hurt me, but I didn't expect you to make a move on Suyu. But since there was no one else in the ward, Huamin didn't beat around the bush and went straight to the point. Huamin, you're really smart. Lu Zhe smiled proudly. However, your imagination is too rich. What you said just now was all your own imagination, right? Ha. Do you think you're a director? How can you make up such a melodramatic story? I'm the one who's injured now. Have you looked at my medical record? 2 of my wrist's tendons were already broken. Did I do this myself and frame Suyu? I'm not mentally ill. I wouldn't do something so cruel to myself. Did you really see who hurt you? Was it Suyu? I'm warning you, if you say the wrong thing, the real culprit will get away scot-free. When that happens, he might try to hurt you again. Lu Zhe, you're not stupid. You need to think about the pros and cons of this, Huamin warned him. Of course, Lu Zhe knew what Huamin meant. However, since he had already done it, there was no turning back. He wouldn't turn back. He had been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. It was Suyu. He did it. He wanted to kill me, Lu Zhe insisted. Chapter 26:14. Fine, since you're so stubborn. I have nothing else to say. Take care of yourself. Vice Director, you're leaving just like that? Don't you want to see me? I'm seriously injured. Ha, Dr. Lu, do you believe in a saying? Huamian turned around and sneered at Lu Zhe, enunciating each word clearly. What saying? Lu Zhe paused. Good and evil will always be rewarded. Look up if you don't believe it. Who will be spared? After saying this, Huamin turned around and left. Lu Zhe's expression changed again. Suyu deserved all of this. Lu Zhe let out a long sigh and took out a photo from his pocket. The girl in the photo had a sweet smile while his eyes were teary. I will not let Suyu go. I will avenge you, Lu Zhe said viciously. After Huamin left Southside, he drove straight to the city bureau. Along the way, the radio in the car was broadcasting the news. Because the incident happened so suddenly, all the major media outlets were reporting on it. Lu Zhe had just returned to the city not long ago. Logically speaking, he shouldn't have stirred up the media like this. However, Suyu's incident was getting worse and worse. There was even an influential media outlet that wrote, "The young master of the Su family was rude and unreasonable. He was jealous of the female doctor he had a crush on. He seriously injured a male doctor in the Southern District and almost killed him. Are the laws for us ordinary people or for everyone? Can the descendants of high officials get away with it?" This kind of extreme public opinion was very effective. It instantly stirred up the emotions of the masses. Everyone started spreading the news on Weibo and WeChat. Not long after the incident, Suyu became one of the most searched topics on Weibo. There were hundreds of thousands of comments. Lord Su, come out and explain yourself. It wasn't you, right? Suyu, I heard you almost killed someone. Is that true? Are all rich second-generation heirs this willful? You didn't even hire an assassin and just did it yourself? Isn't that too exciting? I heard that it's because of Huamin. Is that true? Do you still like that woman? Suyu, you piece of trash. You think you can do whatever you want just because your grandfather is the chief? I've tolerated you for a long time. This time you're dead meat. If I don't let you go to jail this time, it's really intolerable. I'm afraid you're the most hedonistic second generation of officials. Your father and grandfather are worried sick about you. You should be more careful, child. Suyu is quite a nice person. Did he drink too much? Are you trying to cause trouble after drinking? That male doctor is innocent. His wrist was cut for no reason. I heard that fortunately, he was rescued in time. Otherwise, he would have died. It's really scary. Not only did they leave comments under Su Yu's account, they even went to Huamin's Weibo account. They questioned the relationship between the two. Then, they went to Qin Chu's Weibo account. Some netizens with ulterior motives even left comments for Qin Chu. Your wife seems to be having an affair with Su Yu. Otherwise, why would Su Yu almost kill someone for her? You're being cheated on, President Qin. After reading the post, Zhang Manlin smiled slightly. She immediately called Qin Chu. President Qin, what's up? Qin Chu was still cold. Deputy Director just came back to visit Dr. Lu. They talked for a long time. I heard that she went to the municipal bureau. Our finance department said that she left with a few 100,000 yuan in insurance money. Apparently, she's going to bail out Su Yu. Do you know about this? Qin Chu was silent after hearing this. President Qin, people are saying that the deputy director and Su Yu are having an affair. I don't think it's true. After all, our deputy director is such a nice person, Zhang Manlin said deliberately. Chapter 26:15. You sure know a lot. Qin Chu's tone was cold. It was obvious that there was more to his words than met the eye. The whole city knows about it now. Plus, the entire hospital knows that our vice director came back to visit Lu Zhe. Really, a lot of nurses saw it. They said that Dr. Lu looked at our vice director gently. But don't worry, President Qin, the vice director doesn't like Dr. Lu because I heard. Look at my mouth, seriously. Forget it, I won't say it in case you think too much. Go on. No. If I didn't know better, people would think that I was talking bad about our vice director and trying to ruin your relationship. That's not right. Zhang Manlin pretended to be innocent. She perfectly portrayed the word, scheming bitch. It's okay, you're in the mood anyway. Tell me, I want to hear what earth-shattering things Mion did at Southside. Qin Chu smiled faintly. To be honest, Qin Chu was a little disappointed that Zhang Manlin was acting like this. Huaxiqian spent 5 years training her to be his confidant. She shouldn't be so stupid. Qin Chu thought that he would have to wait a while before he could get Zhang Manlin to take the bait. He didn't think that this woman would give herself away so quickly. Plus, Qin Chu thought too highly of her. She really wasn't that capable. She was just a shallow person. If it weren't for the fact that he wanted to get Huaxiqian to take the bait, he would have shot this disgusting woman to death. Especially when she pretended to be like Huamin and imitated some of the details, it was disgusting. Unfortunately, Zhang Manlin didn't realize it and thought that she did a good job. She even thought that Qin Chu had feelings for her. After all, she was younger than Huamin and more obedient than Huamin. Ahem. If that's the case, then I'll tell you. Don't think too much. Go ahead, it's fine. Qin Chu was nonchalant. Everyone in the hospital said that the vice director came here to help Su Yu. If Dr. Lu didn't sue Su Yu, everything would be fine. But they heard that Dr. Lu didn't agree and left on bad terms with the director. So, compared to Su Yu, our vice director cares more about Su Yu. Plus, everyone said that. At this point, Zhang Manlin deliberately paused. Continue. Qin Chu said coldly. I didn't say that. After all, I haven't been at Southside for long. Some of our old employees said that Su Yu has liked our vice director for many years. If you didn't come back from the States, maybe they would have been together. Plus, Su Yu often goes to Southside and often brings food and other necessities to our vice director. He's just like a husband. He really doesn't care about you. Speaking of which, Su Yu comes from a high-ranking official's family and is very scheming. President Qin, I'm afraid. I'm afraid that if you trust our vice director too much, she'll do something that will hurt you. Yeah, you have a point. Qin Chu nodded deliberately. Zhang Manlin was happy to hear that. I know a lot of things. How about this, President Qin, if you have time, let's go to a coffee shop and talk. My relatives in my hometown brought me some wild eggs and wild vegetables. They're pure green and delicious. I'll get some for you. Then, Zhang Manlin waited expectantly for Qin Chu's response. After a while, Qin Chu suddenly asked, Zhang Manlin, do you like me? Chapter 26:16. Zhang Manlin wasn't prepared for such a sudden sentence, and her heart skipped a beat. She felt a little awkward. After all, she had never met a man who asked her so openly. This Qin Chu really didn't play by the rules. President Qin, she wanted to explain. You only want to tell me yes or no? Qin Chu was aggressive. Yes. In the end, Zhang Manlin decided to give it a try. She wanted to see how Qin Chu would react if she said that. To be honest, when Huasiqian gave her the mission, she had seen Qin Chu's photos many times. Although this man was really good-looking, she had always told herself rationally that this was just a mission. She originally planned to leave after the mission was completed. Then she would take the money Huasiqian gave her and go to the plastic surgery hospital to look better. After all, Huamin's face was pure, but not stunning. Then she would use the money to buy a car and a house. Then she would find a rich second-generation heir. Her life would be complete. Unfortunately, things were always different from what she imagined. She had interacted with Qin Chu time and time again. She couldn't help but be attracted to this man. Even when she went home at night, her mind was still filled with Qin Chu's shadow. So, Huasiqian saw through her selfishness. Her previous wish also changed. After Huasiqian took Huamin away, she might replace Huamin and marry into the Qin family. Although she might become the stepmother of the twins, she would still be a young lady sitting on a billion-dollar fortune. Zhang Manlin felt that this was the life of her dreams. She had money, and her husband was handsome. Based on how much Qin Chu doted on Huamin, he would definitely treat her well. Especially since Huamin, that useless woman, only gave birth to 2 daughters. She couldn't give birth to a son at all. If she was lucky and gave birth to a boy for Qin Chu, then the 2 elders of the Qin family would definitely treat her very well. At that time, most of the Qin family's assets would fall into her hands. President Qin, since you asked, I'll be honest with you. I do like you, that's why I want to see you all the time. Of course, you can also think that I'm after your money. I can't help it if you think that way. Zhang Manlin pretended to be an innocent little girl. Qin Chu didn't say anything. I know I shouldn't have done this. After all, you're still married to our vice director. It's wrong of me to like you right now. So, if you didn't ask me, I might never have said it. I just thought that a noble person like you wouldn't fall for an ordinary person like me. It's already my honor to be friends with me. Huamian looked at Zhang Manlin and said, Don't worry. I don't think that way. She couldn't tell what Qin Chu was thinking when he said this. Then, can we still meet later? Zhang Manlin asked softly. I'll pick you up at your place. Then, Qin Chu hung up the phone. Zhang Manlin was overjoyed. She jumped up in joy and walked around the room 3 times. In the end, she hurriedly ran to the wardrobe, thinking about what she should wear that would attract him. In the end, she chose Huamin's favorite light yellow casual clothes and a black baseball cap. She looked very youthful and beautiful. Imitating Huamin had become a habit for her. Municipal Public Security Bureau, hello, may I know who you're looking for? The police at the door stopped Huamin. I'm looking for Gao Ran. How are you related to our director? The police looked Huamin up and down. Huamin was about to speak when he saw Gao Ran walk out with a serious expression. Gao Ran. She raised her hand and waved. Gao Ran immediately saw her and walked over. Chapter 26:17. Huamin, why are you here? Gao Ran was surprised. Gao Ran, I want to see Su Yu. Huamin was a little anxious. Gao Ran looked around to make sure there was no one around before saying in a low voice, "Come with me." Huamin nodded and followed Gao Ran into the bureau chief's office. "Take a seat," Gao Ran said. "What do you want to drink?" Gao Ran stood up and asked. "Nothing." "Gao Ran, how are you going to deal with this?" Huamin asked. "The victim reported the incident and we're collecting evidence." "Do you have any evidence?" "Yes, a fruit knife with Su Yu's fingerprints on it. He was there when Lu Zhe got into trouble. That's Lu Zhe's house, so it's considered trespassing. A few people from South Side saw it. They're all eyewitnesses. Lu Zhe's injuries are more serious. I heard that his tendons are broken, right?" Yeah. Huamin nodded. "So, Lu Zhe's lawyer has asked us to charge Su Yu with intentional injury. Then, what will the consequences be?" Huamin was a little worried. "If he's convicted, he'll go to jail. With so much pressure from the public, I'm afraid it won't be easy for the Su family. Lu Zhe looks like a normal doctor, but many of his relatives are in the provincial department. They're not ordinary people either. So, this time, it's going to be really difficult." "Su Yu wouldn't do that," Huamin explained. "I know, but it's useless. Even though I'm the bureau chief, I still have to look at the evidence." "Then can you let me see Su Yu?" "Sure, but not for too long. 10 minutes, is that okay?" Gao Ran felt a little guilty. After Su Yu's case came out, it was unknown who leaked the news. There were also people who used public opinion and the media to add fuel to the fire. Therefore, as the bureau chief, Gao Ran didn't dare to go overboard. He was afraid that the media would catch him and he wouldn't be able to explain himself. "Sure, 10 minutes is enough. By the way, did anyone from the Su family come? Lady Su came and talked to me for a bit. She went back to get a lawyer. Old Master Su and Su Yu's father can't intervene this time. There are so many people watching." Gao Ren said. "I understand. How about this? I'll go and see him first. Actually, I'll think of a way." "Yes." Under the escort of Gao Ran, Huamin saw Su Yu in the detention room. In just one night, he had become extremely haggard. Perhaps it was because he hadn't washed his face or shaved, but Su Yu looked much older than usual. Fortunately, he wasn't handcuffed. Because it wasn't a murder case, the situation wasn't that bad. Su Yu sat inside, but he was very calm. The current him was no longer as hot-tempered as before. Especially after the twins were born, he had become a warm man. He was wearing a black and white Dolce & Gabbana shirt and black casual pants. Su Yu wasn't as good-looking as Qin Chu, but he was still a dragon among men. He sat there quietly with his eyes closed, which made Huamin's heart ache slightly. After Gao Ran opened the door, he reminded him again, "Huamin, remember, you only have 10 minutes." "I know, don't worry," Huamin promised solemnly. He turned around and opened the door to enter the detention room. "I'm not eating, take it away." Su Yu closed his eyes, thinking that the police had come to deliver food again. "There's no food even if you want to eat. I came in a hurry and didn't buy anything good for you." Huamin smiled faintly. Hearing the familiar voice, Su Yu opened his eyes in surprise. "You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.